How are you? You look beautiful. Thank you for joining me. I am Meryl. This is Meryl's Mystic, and we are here today to do a reading for our new moon in Sagittarius. And before we start, I want to remind you that all of my links are attached, however you need to get a hold of me. And I want to thank you for your continued support and all the love and the likes and the shares and the subscribes. I feel it. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for tuning in again so that we can tune into the current energy around us so that you can tune into yourself. So let's talk about it before we get into it. So retrograde is over on the 20th. Mercury retrograde's over on the 20th. We're still in a shadow period. I think as much as Mercury retrograde in Scorpio sounded scary, it's been pretty good for me, but I'm a Scorpio, so maybe I just listen to the advice this time, which I don't always listen to my own advice. So hopefully it's taught you some things. Hopefully some cool things have happened, and hopefully anything that's come up for you, you've been able to work through. And if you haven't, let me know. That's what individual readings are good for. So over on the 20th, the first day of Sagittarius is November 22nd. So early happy birthday to all the Sagittarians. And then our new moon in Sagittarius is on Tuesday the 26th. It's in the early morning. It's like 8 a.m. my time, which is mountain time. I knew that. But that's 7 a.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. Eastern. So it's you take advantage of it like the night. You'll feel probably more the night before the evening of the 25th into the 26th. But the new moon energy basically runs until the next new moon. And it's the full moon energy that is kind of just around the full moon. So also I will be doing a live Q&A on the evening of the 26th. So after you guys watch your video, and after we have the new moon, and you can come with your questions, and we'll do some free mini reads. And the last one was really awesome, and they're just gonna get better. So please come join me. Those will be on Meryl's Mystic Facebook page. If you're not on the Facebook page, I'm so sorry. I don't know how else to do those. Those are the best way for me to do them. And if you want me to still share them on the YouTube, let me know. Okay, so Sagittarius energy in the light, they are the world traveler, the truth seeker, and the constant student. In the shadow, they can be brash or rude, not think before they speak. They can come off as rebellious, which I don't like the negative connotation of rebellious, but we'll get to that. And beyond stubborn when they're in shadow. So there's a lot of expansion and contraction when it comes to the Sagittarius energy, where they can appear to be one way, but they're so much more than that. And in tarot, they are represented by temperance. And so temperance is all about the balance and alchemy of combining two opposing forces. And although Sagittarius isn't technically a dual sign, there are dual parts to every sign. And so just like there's duality in life and paradoxes in life, we're not shallow beings. We're deep. We have lots of layers, and Sagittarius is no different. They're also considered the oldest fire sign, and they are they're the mutable fire sign. So they're not always as flashy as other fire signs. Sorry, Aries and Leo, you guys are just a little bit more out there than the Sagittarians. But the Sagittarians are out there when they want to be. So that's what this Sagittarius energy is really about. It's about kind of using that rebellious shadow side for good, and really pulling on both sides of that within us, the expansion and the contraction, the open, having the open mind and being the truth seeker, but then having the strong boundaries and being stubborn when we need to, and really finding that balance between the opposing forces within ourselves. So also the messages I've been seeing about this is, and this goes along, I feel like this is just carryover from this Scorpio Mercury retrograde, that if you haven't been doing the inner work that all this energy has been offering you since like the summer, since right when summer began, then these last little bursts of this transformative energy is going to be really difficult for you. So I really want to really encourage you to, maybe take a step back, especially right near the end of Scorpio, going into Sagittarius. Really go inside. Really, it's like Scorpio is kind of the contraction time. Sagittarius is like expanding into that. This is really about owning oneself, not fighting who you are. Sagittarians are really positive people. Their energy is really buoyant and abundant, and they are usually also unapologetically themselves. So really try to tap into that, and because if you have been doing that work, you're gonna, the energy, it's very karmic energy about where if you've been doing the inner work and you've been, you're gonna start reaping those benefits. If you've been ignoring it and you've been suppressing things, then you're gonna start really getting some messages and lessons and some resistance, and things possibly aren't going to turn out the way you want them to. You'll get unexpected news from unexpected places that will throw wrenches into your system. It is meant to shake you up. It is meant for you to change. If you have not been taking advantage of how the energy has been pushing you to change, to get more into your divine path and more into your highest self and your best self, this will be the time that it's gonna really happen. And I've been warning you. You want to answer the universe when it's just a little tap on the shoulder, or even when it starts really knocking. You don't want it to punch you in the face, because it will if you're not listening. And also, if you keep putting that out there, it's like then you're gonna have these things happen that are gonna feel like, oh wow, woe is me, what is this, what's happening, life is so hard, the universe is out to get me. It will keep doing things to prove to you that that's right. It's all self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you're doing the inner work and you're supported and that abundance is on its way, it is. This is what karma really is getting back what you put out there. And the universe, the vibration is raising, the veil is thinner. It's going to show you more and more that what you say is your reality is your reality. So you got to change it up here and you got to change it in here. All right, let's get into the readings. See you in a second. My lovely air signs, how are you, beauties? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your continued support. Let's get into it. We're ready for your reading for our new moon in Sagittarius, which we just heard all about from a past Meryl. So now let's drop in wherever you are. Close your eyes if you can. Start to take some really deep breaths. Put your feet on the floor and feel the ground below you supporting you, your chair below you supporting you. We're here together. And then expand your consciousness out into the room. You don't have to open your eyes. I'm pretty sure you remember what the room looks like around you. And then out to the street, to the building you're in, to the neighborhood, to the state, to the country. Keep floating out above the world, how small everything is, how big and vast the universe is, how connected we all are. Excuse me. Come back into your body, take some more deep breaths. And we only welcome our guides that mean to do us good. Yes, we are talking about shadow. Yes, we are talking about what that does, but we are here to talk about the lessons of that. So we are talking about, so our questions for our tarot today are, what will we gain? What will we lose? And how will we find balance of that? You know, there's a saying that lose something every day. And I know it sounds kind of depressing, but, you know, we learn so much from letting go and from loss. Sometimes we learn a lot more from that than from what we gain. So it's important that we recognize that. So we ask for our guides that only mean to do us good to join us. And we do not welcome any guides who mean to do us harm. And what will my lovely air signs gain? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this is for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Sorry, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if it is in your sun, moon, or rising sign, these messages are for you. If the message doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you, and that's okay. You don't have to take that message. You just let it go and hear the ones that are meant for you, and never give your power up to any reader. You have the will and power of conscious choice, and it is up to you. It is in your hands. So what will you, my lovely air signs, because you always are so lovely, gain? 7 of Cups. This is nice. 7 is naturally a lucky number because it is a spiritual number. And 7 of Cups is all about choosing from the heart, really, because Cups is our emotion and our heart. And 7 of Cups can read several different ways depending on what we're asking. But for this one, we're asking what we're gaining. You're gaining the power of choice. And you're gaining the power of choice to choose something that really, truly speaks to you. And not just choosing something that you think you have to choose. Excuse me. My throat feels dry. So, what are you going to choose? I mean, have you been waiting for a choice to come along? Have you been trying to decide? Do I do what I want to do, or do I do what I'm supposed to do? I feel like this is telling you do what you want to do, as long as it's not going to be a detrimental choice. There's also, a lot of lessons of trusting the universe and trusting that jump and the net will appear, or jump and you build your own net. So on the way down, knitting it all the way. So what are you gaining? Or I'm sorry, what are you choosing? And what choice will gain you the most? And are you going to have to give something up because of something you want? Let's see, what will you lose? I almost want to ask, what will you choose? So, anytime card. Let's shuffle. What will you gain? 7 of Cups. Choice. I mean, it just feels like maybe you've been in that place where you're like, okay, I know that I don't like where I am right now, but I don't feel like a choice. And so maybe choices are finally going to come to you. That would be really cool. That would be really sweet if you feel like you've been stuck for a while and no options are coming forward. It's like the options are coming forward. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. So what will we lose? The Hermit in reverse. Again, this is similar to the fire signs because they got the Hangman and the what we lose. It's like, it's either you're losing your isolation or you are losing, yeah, it feels like you're losing your isolation. But in reverse, it's like maybe you don't want to, or in reverse, maybe you're losing your fear of isolation, or it's like, or maybe you're losing, it's like what's the opposite of isolation? Cohabitation, being like with somebody. Where you could be begrudgingly having to go into some sort of isolation if you make a choice from your heart. If you take advantage of that choice that you will gain. Feels kind of scary. It feels scary, but hopeful. Gonna need to take some deep breaths. Whew. My chest just got tight. It's like you're losing a choice. It's almost like you're losing a choice of whether you're gonna be alone or not. Or, you know, or are you going to make that choice on your own, or are you going to let somebody else come along and make that choice for you? How to find balance. Judgment in reverse. How to find balance. Surrender. 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 I feel like what's surrender. Surrender. Don't give yourself away. Hey, who is that? Is that? It's not Kiss. Is it? Could be. I feel really ashamed that I don't know what that is. Like, that's surrender to, like, what's happening. Surrender, trust that you're being taken care of, trust that everything is temporary. We're going to pull Mystical Shaman Oracle card. It's very interesting if you look at them together. Oh, excuse my shadow. I need a new light. So serious and not feeling in line with ourselves. So what are you going to choose? What are you going to choose to turn this around? So you feel on top of the world and you feel like you're in line with your purpose. Trusting your purpose, letting go, trusting your intuition, knowing that you will make the right choice in sometimes the right choice doesn't always appear to be the right choice in the beginning. Sometimes we make a choice and we don't think it's the right choice, and then we don't find out why that choice was right for us until years down the road. Trusting the path. Are you truly trusting the path? You know, air signs, I know that you can be controlling because you're really good with change, or you don't want change. Ooh, hello. You're good with change around you. It's the change internally that you have a hard time with. As long as nobody's asking you to personally change, you're pretty good at going with the flow. So this, you got Taming of the Wind in reverse. Taming the Wind. So have you been gusty lately, air signs? You gusty rascals, you. Do we need to become a light breeze right now? Taming the Wind, the essence. Here, the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment to make to your life. Oh, excuse me. Used for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and an acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. Are we getting a little too in our logical brains here, air signs? This is making a lot of sense if this is what's happening. We're having trouble choosing with our heart because we're not listening to it enough. We're listening to this too much. We're too trapped in our minds. And it's got us off of our path of purpose. Because I know that you've experienced enough to stop letting your ego talk you out of your spirituality. And I would love to talk to you about it one-on-one. You reach out to me. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. There's a reason why you are experiencing the things you're experiencing, and I know you're experiencing them. The medicine. It's time to clean up any misunderstandings with others. Clear the air after disagreements and allow others to share their side of things. You are called now to be a good listener. This is not a time to be right. It's a time for you to understand rather than be understood. Good things come out of this restraint of tongue and pen. You'll be surprised at how things get resolved when you allow all sides to see value. Also relating back to our Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse can also warn that it's either time to be a little quiet, or that information is more useful when shared. And this meaning too that maybe this is also telling you that, like, recognizing that you don't know everything. You'll get you'll lose this sense of my logic brain knows everything and I know everything sort of attitude, and maybe time to listen. And I mean, it's calling you and you're not listening to it. So I almost feel like this is even clearing your misunderstanding up with the spirituality, especially with Judgment card coming up. That's all about how you're spiritually inclined on your path. And this listening from the heart, choosing from the heart and not from your head. Good things come out of this restraint of tongue and pen. It's all up here. Your ego keeps talking you out of it, and your spirit guides are just dying to connect with you. You know, so are you going to let them in? Are you? It's really cool if you do. They're really helpful. All right, my beautiful air signs. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being here. Please join me for my live Q&A on my Facebook on the 26th of November at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.